All right, today's stream is top 10 altcoins. I asked you guys 3 days ago to give me some of your suggestions for coins to look up, and I've gone through them in the past 4 hours. I've gathered 11 of my favorites, and then there's a few honorable mentions. At the end of the stream, I'll go through the ones that I find the most importance in. So this list we have here is not a list of importance yet. At the end, we'll go through a list of importance. And then in Crypto Archive in the Discord, some of these will not be market buys. So it'll be a certain setup where we buy, it's a limit order, just like we did with the Bitcoin longs, where a certain price needs to hit for us to enter this trade. And we'll go over XRP, BNB, Polkadot first, and then we'll start unhiding the rest of this list. If you have questions during it, either open your mics up. Here you go. You can see the screen now, my bad. Open your mics up and ask them just through Discord, or go to crypto chat. Do not go into the live chat room. Go to crypto chat and at me. Actually, you should probably be, never mind, don't go in crypto chat because some of you actually can't even go in there. Go into the stream chat and ask me the questions and I'll see it there. Someone said, what do you think about meta coins or crypto gaming coins? I think we have one on here. Actually, I think it's the first one we're going to go over. The first one we are going to go over will be a gaming coin. Overall, though, I'll talk about gaming coins in general and why I don't think I'm going to spend too much time on anymore, but there is one on the list, probably one that a lot of you can agree with. First one we're going over is XRP. We're going to go over these very quickly because we've already bought these. XRP, solid token that we've been trading for, I want to say, the past 4 months now. And we've been waiting for one certain event. I'm sure we all know what this event is. Break the weekly EMA and we'll get expansion. We haven't seen expansion in over 260 days. So soon enough, right? It's just a waiting game. We've bought it several times. We bought it once up here when it was stagnating at about 51 cents. We bought it again on the daily EMA retest plus daily fair value gap. As you can see, it wicked it and immediately marked back up. It's sitting at 50 cents. If you don't own it, that's okay. It's between both of the buys we've had. You can still buy it right now. Nothing has really occurred. It's in profits from the daily fair value gap buys, but we're not looking to take profits now, so you can feel safe buying it, market buying XRP right now. And if they are market buyable, I'll let you know that you can buy them now on stream, like while we're doing the stream. Like XRP is one of the ones you can buy right now. It's at a very safe spot to buy. It's in between both of our buys. It's not at a place where you need to be worrying about too much drawdown yet. This is a solid one. We've talked about this one, I want to say, every single stream, so I'm not going to spend any more time on it. Next up, BNB. The coin to get the most recent flack on the market for a good reason. BNB, Binance US pretty much got one of the worst SEC indictments of recent history. Good for us. Why? Because that day of the indictment, beginning of June, we saw a weekly candle marked down about 25%. Why is that good? Well, marked down into a key level, right? Almost enough for us to buy, and it's not there yet for us to buy. And I think we've talked about this already. We want a raid of the equal lows. What does that mean? Well, when we did have that 5, 6, 7 day long frame of BNB marking down day after day after day, it did come down and make an equal low with the previous low of 2022, right? This is in December, made a equal low. This normally means that this is the liquidity rate that we're looking for because it's a very, very obvious spot for spot traders and leverage traders to place their stop losses, right? If anyone is long in this zone right here, where are they going to put their stop loss? Well, we got to figure that out, and it's fairly easy when you have these equal lows here. They're going to place their stops below the most recent low. And what are we going to do, and what is our plan going to do? Our plan is just going to be buy into their stops. They get stopped out, we enter the trade, right? So we want to enter on those equal lows. There's the bear flag as well, right? There's a lot going for this trade. You can even say, if we come up, we have this breaker right above. So we do have, sorry, not breaker, we have the order block right above. We're still filling out that daily fair value gap. Do not, at least I'm not buying BNB yet. I've seen some of you already buy it, which I think the downside is roughly 14 to 50%. Quite a bit, to be fair. 14, 50% is quite a bit, right? Still a lot on spot and a lot on leverage. So BNB, like we said last stream, under 220, we'll call it 220 flat. I know it's 220, 20 cents. Under 220, raid this, and let's enter. Let's let everyone get stopped out, and then let's enter. So this is not one I would market yet, only because there's significant downside still. All right. And when we do enter, where the TP is going to be, I will remind you guys of where the TPs will be, but our first one will be right up here, right? I mean, this is the most obvious sell block, 279. We're looking at about an average gain of 30%. We'll take that, right? We'll take that. So I will update this when we enter this trade. If you guys aren't paying attention, I will update when we're entering, and I will update the TPs. Moving on, Polka Dot. We bought this one twice already. We bought Polka Dot twice already. We bought it once in this zone here. We bought it once right here. 4 buys only because it had the exact same setup that we wanted BNB, right? Rated the lows, rated these lows, and then you had lows of 2022, right? This is December, this is Christmas lows. We wanted to see these lows get rated. This is the exact same concept as BNB, and you can see it live here and how it worked. 1 buy here. The second buy was when we streamed. We saw the lows get rated. I think we bought 450, and we bought again here. All right, lows rated, markup, and now it's getting back to the second entry. So it should be, rough average should be about right here, depending on if you're going 50-50 on the trade, right? Polka Dot, still a good trade if you don't own it. Why? Because it's near the first entry. That's fine if you get it near the first entry. Second entries, you're about almost up 15%. Cool, right? If you took both entries, you're up about 6%. Cool. That's not enough for us yet, right? As I said before, actually, hold the thought on Polka Dot, because I need to explain why we're buying alts first off, right? I need to give you guys an explanation and a reasoning to build your confidence in all of this. Why are we buying alts? Right? Why are we even talking about the top 10 alts? The last stream, if you weren't there, Bitcoin dominance is nearing one of the most important levels right now. This is the weekly EMA. Why is the weekly EMA important? Look back in history, 2021 and 2020. This is what started a few of the alt rallies, right? Why am I saying that this is an alt rally just because it rejects out the weekly EMA? Well, using the Bitcoin dominance chart, if Bitcoin dominance is decreasing, right? If the price is decreasing on this chart, what's that mean? Bitcoin is losing total dominance in the market. That means there are other tokens in the market making up more of the market cap during that period. What does that mean? Obviously, it's altcoins that are starting to make up more of the market cap. If altcoins are making up more of the market cap, what does that mean? Their price is increasing. So one reason why we're looking to buy alts right now is because now after, let's say, 900 days, 925 days, 925 days, we are finally retesting this very important zone once again. Now that we're retesting this, right, I still do think that Bitcoin dominance is going to take over in the next few months, right? Let's say going into Q4, right? I don't think that this is going to be forever. I definitely think that we're going to have a retrace here because Bitcoin has made a 20% move since our last buys. It's about as much as it's going to make, right? 20%, sure, let altcoins run after, right? We're gonna get a rejection off this weekly EMA, maybe come down to this level that we've been respecting for the last 2 years, and then pop back up, okay? So that's what we're buying. I wanted to explain that first, should explain at the beginning, but that's already been explained. Back to Polka Dot. It's okay to market buy this right now. I mean, it's at literally bottom levels. If you buy it now, you're still looking at an 18% move to the top. XRP, marketable. BNB, limits. Polka Dot, marketable. Moving on to the first coin that we're going to unhide here. This is Ape. So those that asked about the metaverse tokens, what metaverse tokens are we going to buy, or if I was interested in any, well, here's the first one. The first one on the list is Ape, right? This is the token from the Bored Ape Yacht Club. I'm going to explain a little bit why I like this token first from a technical standpoint, and then I will explain why I like it from a fundamental standpoint. First off, we do have this typical rate setup that we've been seeing for the larger moves in the market that Ape's been giving, right? Ape is going to rate a low, make a lower low, sit stagnant for about 17 to 20 days, and then go through its markup phase, right? And 17 days is coming up in the next 2 days for this coin. Now, I'm not saying that chronologically we're going to get the exact same 17-day pattern, but I'm saying roughly this is what we're looking for here, and we have the exact same raid pattern, and we have Bitcoin dominance at a key high that should be rejecting soon. Makes sense for us to be getting into a token like this, right? After 17 days, we saw an average of about a 50% markup to the highs. We can even average this even lower, right, to be a little bit more conservative. Let's call it 35% up to our average, okay? If we take the 50% average, this takes out the equal highs here. Makes sense, right? Other than that, daily fair value gap, That's still a 15% move. Either way, 50% to a 50% move. We can take a marketable entry on Ape, and I'll be sending these out, right? If you guys don't want to enter on the stream, you want to wait till the signal in the Discord, wait till after stream zone, I'll send them out. Right? We can still see about a 17% move here. I'm fine with that. That's up to the 4-hour EMA. I'm totally fine with that. Do I think we'll see a daily EMA retest? A little unlikely. A little unlikely. It's this 80% move, but can it happen? Sure. Do I think so? Probably not. 50% on leverage for Ape, that's fine with me. What's your downside risk? You do have a downside risk, of course, but the downside risk is maybe 7%, right? Take these equal lows, go into this fair value gap. That's 9%. We can even take limit entry here too. This would be a fantastic way to play this, actually. This would probably be the preferable method to play this trade. Play it like this. This is how we'll play it. I'll actually send this one out. I actually like this a lot now that I'm reviewing this. About $2, psychological entry, right? Whole numbers in crypto, these are psychological numbers, right? About $2, let's call it $2.09. Take entry. Why? 4-hour fair value gap, right? There's even an order block right below that. So we're gonna put stops even lower because it potentially could go through the fair value back down to the order block. And then what? Stops below the recent low, right? This low has no other significance on the chart besides it being the most recent low, and we'll take stops below that. And then where's our TP? We'll take it right up here, right up to the fair value gap at 250. You are taking you're risking 1 to make 4, right? Or you're risking 6.8% to make 27%. Fair enough. I'll take that trade. Moving on. Oh, fundamentals on Ape. Also, going on metaverse tokens, I don't trust a lot of the other ones because they haven't made too much progress in the space. I trust Bored Ape Yacht Club. It has the most notoriety in the space. They're actually making production on their game. I think they have a lot of liquidity behind them. They have great investors. What else do you want? Right? What else do you want? It's the one NFT that's surviving. I'll trust the one NFT that's surviving and the token that's connected to it. Moving on past Ape, we have AVAX. All right, what's going on with AVAX? Why do I like it? AVAX has a sick setup as well. Unfortunately, this one we may have to wait a little bit because the setup I want is a little far from current price. But nonetheless, I think this would be a bottom tick entry if we were able to get it. And I'll tell you why I think it's a little unlikely, but we can still hope for it, right? So we will be taking entry, and this is a massive, massive zone. I don't know why this is, Jesus Christ. I don't know why this is all the way down here. We're looking to take entry into the weekly fair value gap, and we can even refine this entry, and we will end up refining this entry. If we can find a tighter zone to enter on here, probably $8 flat, psychological again. But this is the equal lows from 2021 summer, right? June to July. Equal lows created, never again touched. Why are these equal lows also significant? Because this is right below these equal lows is the discount zone of the weekly fair value gap. Plus, and I'm gonna make a marker right here. Plus this line right here at about $8.13. If you can see this, I know it's a little bit jumbled. This black line. You have the daily fair value gap. So not only could you raid the summer lows from 2021, but you would raid into the discount of the weekly fair value gap, and I'll take that trade. It sounds extremely, extremely confident for me. There's only one problem, and you can probably see this, that we are about 40% away from that entry. It's a little unfortunate because I don't know if we're actually marked down 40%, but this will be that longer term trade that I'll put out. Maybe we can find a tighter entry, but as you can see, every time we tap the zone, mark up, mark up. So the zone has value, right? The zone has significant value. Every time it taps into this weekly, I mean, it marked up in 1 month, 100%. Last time it marked below, it's currently marked up 35%. So nonetheless, there's value. Will we get that entry we want? Maybe. If we get it, I can almost guarantee you that we'll have a massive confident position that we can hold for, I would say, I said Ape, 70% on Ape probably wasn't viable. I'd say 70% on AVAX, getting that entry is definitely viable for us. Okay. Ape. I'm going to send out, you guys might have to wait for this, but Ape, you can market buy. Even you can wait. Either market buy half now and then wait for the limit entry. AVAX, I'm sorry. I'm waiting for this one. I can't enter confidently yet. I would say that if we can make a little bit of a higher move here on the daily, what's right below it? A very obvious zone for us to long on, daily order block, but we have 2.5 hours left. You can take it to these highs here. And you can put your stops right below. So, I don't know, 11 RR trade. I have to wait for the daily to close. So wait for the daily close. We'll see what's produced. I'm not sure if anything was produced on that daily gap. Yeah, a ton of demand here. So potentially this would be where the scalp trade is, but the long-term God trade would be a lot lower than current price. Anyways, moving on. AVAX. Next up, eGold. A lot of these are from coins that you guys recommended in the chart chat. So thank you for bringing these up because a lot of these have very fruitful setups. eGold I especially like, and you can see these are all marking up as we're talking about them. eGold, similar setup to Ape. Why? Well, you have low raid into stagnation, 30 days into expansion, right? And this is evidently power of 3. Now, I don't want to go over power of 3 too much, but because Casper talks about it quite a bit. But as you can see, you have the manipulation into the raid and into the expansion, right? So I expect the exact same thing to happen now. I expect the exact same thing to happen now. You have this entire zone, the stagnation, manipulation, expansion. And why is this one even better than the last one? Well, the last expansion phase didn't really have a zone for it to kite to. Now we do, right? Equal highs. Almost. I think it's actually perfect. Equal highs. How high is equal highs? 50%. 50% is the goal for this trade. We'll take that all day long. We'll take that all day long. I mean, the RR will always be over a 4R position here, even if you're targeting the lows. All right, you risk, this would be a 5.6 RR trade. Risk an 8% loss to make almost 48%. I'll take that all day, right? I'll take that all day. And we're about to break 4-hour EMA. Last time we did get the fake out on the 4-hour, so let's see what happens here. If we break retest, and I want some of you to watch this as well. If you guys see this and I'm not signaling, let me know because this would be a sick trade. You have order block right above this, right? This is why I suspect this. Break, hit order block, retest, stagnate, we buy. Let's get our expansion. So this one I don't have a low as far as AVAX, so eGold would be bought before AVAX because I don't have a key significant low below this. But that's the trade. That's the trade for eGold. Solid altcoin. And thank you for whoever, a few of you actually wanted me to go over this one. So thank you. Number 7, Maker. I think this was Joel or maybe Liv that told me to go over this one. Maker's a little difficult of a trade. A little difficult. There's a few things I like, and there's long-term liquidity. As you know, meme trend lines work consistently, not only because they're meme trend lines, but because they produce a lot of liquidity. As you can see on the daily as well, you're coming up to that trend line that's tested 1, 2, 3, 4, let's call it like 8 times already, right? Not only is this a significant zone that we want to pay attention to, but the daily EMA is breaking, right? What happened the last time daily EMA got tested? A beautiful rejection, right? This is what we like to see. This one, unfortunately, that fakes you out. You lose on this trade. You get the breakout, maybe you buy the retest, right? You expand to the highs, maybe set stops to break even, and you make no money on that trade. Preferably you'd make no money on the trade before losing, and then you would get all this fuckery that raids and then raids back up, and then you would forget it. Because what have I said about the EMAs before? If the EMAs are not respecting like this, if they're not respecting like this, then we don't respect the trade. Just like this. And the last time we did get the EMA retest, it respected. So that's why we look at it a lot more now. So if Maker, we have 2 hours and 46 minutes. Close the daily here. Let's get a markup phase. We can buy. So it's a Maker is prominently going to most likely be a market order soon. I can't actually, and I looked at this earlier for about 30 minutes, and I can't find an entry that I like on lower time frames. Maybe we take 706 to 714. Maybe we take it a little bit lower. So none of these, I don't have full confidence in any of these entries yet. So if I don't have full confidence in the entry yet, what do? We wait, right? So waiting on maker, but I love the setup. I think it's extremely due for expansion. My favorite trade, no. And that's why at the end I'll tell you the top ones that I like. Next, waves. A little bit of an odd one. But when I did look at it, I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot. A few reasons I like waves is because it's respecting a zone that's been respected for the past 3 years. 3 years in total. I'll take this. Right? In 3 years, if it's respecting the exact same level, what's the chances that it respects it again? Very high. What happened last time waves came to this level, right? What happened last time in December? Last year, 2022, 7 months ago. 168% move. Now, that's fantastic. Do I think that's going to make the exact same move? Absolutely not, right? Absolutely not. I don't think we're going to get a doubling of equity here. I do think that we have plenty of levels that give us a fruitful entry and fruitful RR. I mean, this is almost a 40% move to relevant highs. So how would you play this, right? 4-hour EMA, I would love a rejection here. Make equal highs so we can rate the highs and we could take longs here. You'd have a minimum of 2 TPs because taking out the strong high is pretty much unlikely. Going to the mid zone here of this fair value gap would probably be the best option for us, and then you can leave a runner for the rest. Stops below this low. Otherwise, if this breaks after breaking these highs, the trade's irrelevant. Rejection, come back down entry, 148.6. We'll come back to these. Maybe we'll actually get some type of entry on stream here. But this would be fantastic. I'm not sure how much of a discount this is, if it even matters. 4% discount? Yeah, that's enough. 4% is a lot. So that's waves. Long-term trend playing out right now. As you can see, tested it. Markup 28%. If it's already marked up 28%, does that mean that there's nothing left? Fuck no. It means there could be a lot more left. What happened last time? The day after, right? The day after it tapped the zone that was respected for the last 3 years, what happened? Marked up 22% in one day. Most people aren't buying coins that mark up 22% in one day because they think it's over. What happened subsequent days? It then marks up 142% in the rest of the month, right? So still, even though it's marked up today already 5%, 6% today, does not mean it's done. Does not mean it's done. This is a solid trade here. You could probably, I would hate to say market this as we're at the key point. I would rather say we either come down to this entry, we break above, and we retest that EMA. Of course, you guys know exactly how we would play this trade. That's waves. Next. RNDR. Now, I don't know who asked for this one, but it was only one person. RNDR, not a coin I would typically ever look at, but a sick setup nonetheless. One that I think is probably getting no love from the majority of the market. What's been happening to this, right? I mean, pretty heavy bearish divergence has already played out and is lost 40% on equity into that daily EMA. What has it done so far, right? What has it created that we love to see? Equal highs. Why are the equal highs so important to us? It's a place of liquidity. People play stops here. What's the importance between stops, right? Stops are where moves are made. Stops are tapped, reversals happen. Highs here on RNDR, $2.38. Raid the highs. What happens when you raid the highs? You come into the fair value gap. What happens when you hit the fair value gap? More stops taken. So there's plenty of trades to be made here, and that's why I like this one so much, because we have both shorts open for us and long positions. I like the short position a lot more than the longs first because we're just so close to it. The 15% move, so we could go long to short position, which would be something like this. And we have equal lows here, so we'd stop even before those equal lows. We have to take an even smaller stop here, probably below this low. 3.8 risk to reward. So you're looking at longing from $2.20 up into the 4-hour fair value plus the daily at the same time, plus raid the equal highs. Risk 4% to make 15%. Good risk to reward. Now, why is it cool that we like the short? Because if we do get the short trade, we get the highs rated, we get the fair value gap tapped, what comes next, right? Potentially lows again. At least closer to the daily EMA. So what happens every time we get close to the EMA? 80% move, 140% move, 41% move. I mean, again, the proof is in the pudding with this. I don't know how many of you are new to EMAs, at least at 200, at least the PB EMA that we've had created for us, but it literally gives you some of the picture perfect entries. Now, using it alone, optimal, yeah, you could probably get away with it. Multiple 6-figure months just using this alone. If we add some other confluences, sure, it's a lot better. And that's why we're adding other confluences here with these SMC concepts. RNDR will post up the full trade, which will be long to short to long. So it'll be long into where we think that it's going to mark down, and then into the eventually the longer term longs. Solid coin, it's been holding up against the majority of the market for a while. As you can see here, back in 2022, this level was getting bought up by some whale, and then he eventually capitulated his position, and you get a minus like 70% or something. Yeah, minus 80% on this trade, right? And now that we're coming back up to this level, his orders are gone. It's time to rebreak. That's RNDR. Moving on to number 10. Chainlink, won't spend too much time on this because Casper's already bought it for us. But I will spend a little bit of time because I don't know if he's talked about it live yet. So this trade is currently active if you've bought it from Casper. I'm going to talk about my analysis behind it. I don't know why Casper is buying it. I did not look at his TI yet, but I think it's a solid trade nonetheless. Let me remove all of this. Number one, I can almost guarantee that part of his analysis was from the low raid. This is the exact same setup that we want to see on BNB. I think this is a white coffee and setup as well, but I'm not going to get into that shit right now. Low is rated, PO3. It probably has to be a PO3 trade, honestly. Casper will tell you guys soon. When he does his next stream, ask him why he's buying Link. It has to be something with power 3 or with the lows being rated. Let me color code this. Okay. Lows raid, what do? You bid. So that's the exact same concept that I think he took with Link. Let me actually check his. Let me check where he bought Link. He must have bought this a while ago. I don't know where he bought Link. Who has the entry on his Link? I think it's 5:30. I can't find this post. It looks like he bought it at 5:51. So he's up 10% or so right now. He bought right here. He bought on this line. So trade's doing well. If you don't have Link, I think this is an easy marketable buy right now. There's not too much of a loss prevention you have, maybe 3% to the 4-hour EMA. And even below that, this is perfect. I mean, if you can get, this is where he bought. If you can get an 8% move down into this quad formation order block, that would be perfect. $5.60, like just place limit orders there. Sit and forget limit orders at 560 and you'd be fine. Don't want to wait, fine, buy market. The only downside of buying at market is we are at this daily order block that will most likely send us down a little bit. Send us down in 560. Return. Okay. And then major trims at $7, so $7 psychological level. Not only is it a psychological level, but you have this absolutely girthy volume shelf that is going to take price down. Volume shelf plus daily EMA makes sense that you would sell there. Okay, that's Link. Now, one of the ones that I like a lot. This is Algo. If I can get this to unhighlight, it just looks weird. Whatever. Algo is the next one up. That was Link. Now, I don't think anyone talked about Algo yet, but Algo with maybe one of the best setups in the entire market. Maybe one of the best ones. For starters, what has it done? What has it done? You all know. It rated the lows of 2020. Rated the lows of 20. Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought that a coin like Algo, that's making so many advancements in the market, would even have a disgusting markdown like this? I mean, it's down 70% since June of last year. BNB ain't down that far. I don't even think Doge is down that far. Rated the lows of 2020 in immediate markup. I've shown you guys this raid lows into bid countless times this stream. And how many times has it worked? Every single one. And there's plenty of options in the coins I've gave you guys so far that haven't rated the lows, that where we can get those entries, those pinpoint bottom entries. But when they do rate the lows, like as you can tell, Algo has rated the lows already, you're gonna have to find entry above that low. And I love this setup a lot because there's so much room for it to fly, especially during an altcoin expansion period, which we're going to see, at least my thesis is we're going to see with Bitcoin dominance coming up to this key level, right? You have a 22% move into previous lows. You have a 70% move into potential equal highs or this bearish daily order block. And into next highs, 200%. I mean, you can see that there's a lot of potential here. Do I expect you to hold it the entire way? No. There's going to be a lot of room for us to move here. Not only is there a lot of room, but there is a lot of sell blocks, right? There's a lot of places where we're going to see this shit sell off. And preferably the first one will be right here at, let's call it 20 cents even to make it easy for you guys. Daily fair value gap, absolutely massive right here. I mean, this is what produced all of the displacement. This will be used as probably a -7 and -8% day. Hit the daily fair value. Hit the daily EMA as well as the fair value. And bada bing, I mean, you'll have a 6 sell-off, and there's a shelf right above it. This coin is currently up 10% on the day. Don't be scared by it. I guarantee a lot of you know that coins can be up 10% on the day and go another 30% tomorrow. Look at BCH, for example. Look at BCH, right? Up 20% in one day. I'm sure everyone thought it can't go again, but it could. Broke the daily, retested the daily, and went again. I wish I would have caught this one. This would have been such a sick trade. And it had everything there. It had everything there to be a sick trade. Didn't catch it. And Bitcoin Cash, to be fair, is not a coin most people are looking at. So I'm sure it caught a lot of people off guard that this one was moving so hard. Okay, this is Algo. This is Algo. I'll be sending my entry on this trade as well. Is it marketable? Yeah, I think it's marketable. Is a retrace coming? Sure, a retrace could be coming soon. Why? Here's the daily. Daily fair value. Fine, retraces are okay. If you get scared of the retraces, you won't hit the whole move. When we took Bitcoin longs, we had plenty of retraces. And I kept telling you guys day after day after day, right? Day after day, I told you guys, my sentiment, stay confident. Stay confident. This is the opportunity you can't let go of, right? This is our next long to bid long. This is the long-term goal. There's too many confluences, right? This is all about the Bitcoin longs. Only focus is Bitcoin. We're long bias. I am not worried about dumping these positions yet. I think we see highs soon. Let's not prematurely dump out. That's one thing that I want you guys to take away from a lot of these trades is the confidence that I have in them and how far I'm able to hold these trades. Because one thing that I see that a lot of new members ruin themselves on and potentially long-term profits is not holding the trades long enough, right? So if I can instill the confidence in you to hold the trade longer, then I'm doing my job. At the same time, I want you to understand where I'm getting my confidence from. So when you're looking for your own trades, you build your confidence and you're able to get more profit out of it. Because I'm sure every single person here has sold a trade too early and watched in the next week rail where they could have made plus 20, plus 25R. That's algo. Honorable mentions. Honorable mentions. Near, first one. I like Near. We've traded it quite a bit. It's been good to us in the past. It's not the worst coin. It's not the best coin. It might have been the best coin in 2020. We made a good amount of money on it, but not the best coin this year. That's for damn sure. You have your flip. It gets used several times. You raid the lows here. We go to the daily. It's an honorable mention because I don't like it as much as the others. And by the way, the stream is almost done. And at the end of this, I'm going to sort by order of importance on what I believe are the best trades. At least the ones to look at a little bit earlier than the rest. Anywho, December, right? These December lows have been very important to us. How many times have I gone over the December lows? Maybe 4 or 5 of these coins have had December lows being the low of choice to raid before markup. This low created in December, 20th of December, 2022. This low raids and you get immediate markup, right? At least by immediate, within a week. It's pretty fast, right? Pretty fast within the time frame we're looking at right now. 2 hours and 30 minutes before close. Near could potentially give us a solid entry sometime soon. We've definitely flipped this 4 hour. Will be very important for us. Flip, bull, flip, bear. So potentially the next test in this is a sell-off, get a retrace, and we'll find an entry from there. And I don't think it's going to fall too far. Obviously, the best entry for these are going to be a lot lower. You have 2 potential entries, which are sitting 5% apart. And from current price, you're looking at 2% below current price for the first one, and then 9% below for the next entry. 9% is pretty far. So we might have to give this, for some of these trades that I'm talking about waiting on, right? For some of the trades I'm talking about waiting on, we might have to, I don't know if I want to wait till the weekend's over and Monday comes around, or maybe something happens on Sunday. We'll see. Maybe a weekly close. We'll do another stream on weekly close and potentially have more entries, right? So that's Near. Another very similar trade to the rest of the altcoins. A very important low is rated. It marks up. It's time for us to find entry because previously the raids gave a lot more of a move than 20 to 30% that they've already had. Don't be scared that they've moved 20 to 30% already. Some of you are like, it's already moved 30%. What am I going to do? I mean, I already gave you the example with Bitcoin Cash, right? It moved 30% in one day. Everyone forgets about it, and it goes another 40%. So it's okay for you to be buying into something that have already marked up. I know psychologically humans always want to buy the bottom, and I know, since we bought the bottom on Bitcoin, we all have this connotation that like, we got to get the bottom. It was amazing that we did get this bottom on Bitcoin, but we don't always have to do that. It would have been fine if we took entry here. It would have been fine if we took entry over the breakout. Getting the bottom is fun, but you don't always need to expect to get it. It's okay if you don't, right? I always tell people, you don't need to eat the entire pie. We just need a piece of it, because long-term succession isn't obsessing over a bottom tick entry and getting upset when you are missing it by 100 points. Moving on, TRX. TRX, honorable mention because it isn't an actual mover, right? It doesn't move all that much. There's not much going on with it. It's kind of stagnated for the last 2 years, but good setup above the weekly EMA. Sitting on the daily, kind of like an XRP setup here. Only on the honorable mention list because I don't know where I would find entry for this. I see short positions galore if it comes up, and then as we did with Bitcoin. We shorted Bitcoin into long limits. Maybe do the same thing. On the honorable mention list, because I also can't really give you guys a buy for this yet because I don't understand it enough. It doesn't move all that much. Doesn't have much of an expansion phase over the last few years. It has short bursts of movement, but other than that, not too much. And we still have a lot of the selling pressure to eat through. So I don't have the confidence to get buys on this. That's why it's on the honorable mention list for you guys to put it on maybe a watch list of yours so you can take looks at it. But potentially, I would like shorts on this more than anything, just because it's giving the short position signal more than it is longs right now. And the setup is so equal to XRP that it wouldn't make sense for me to buy something that looks like XRP when I don't have a short position on XRP, take a short on TRX, go long in XRP. I think XRP moves a lot faster than TRX anyways. All right, that's everything. Now I'm going to rank these in the order of importance. All right, it's gonna be the order of importance that I'm personally gonna be buying. Order of importance will be defined by my marginal size. So coins at the top of the list will have more margin than the ones towards the bottom, right? Just because I have more confidence in them means I'm gonna put more margin in them because I wanna make more money off of them. Let's check how long the stream has been so far. 40-minute stream. Yeah, no one's gonna watch this shit if it's 40 minutes. So I'm gonna put the recap up after. But if you guys have questions, ask me right now through voice chat or through any of the relevant chat rooms, preferably the stream chat room, and I'll get to it. But I'm gonna start ranking this list right now. And during this, ask your questions if you have any. I feel like I might have gotten to everything already. First one, right? This will make one person very happy in the chat room. XRP, order of importance. Why? It's been on our watch list for an extremely long period of time. I want to say since the beginning of the year we've been watching this. XRP is first for a good reason. We've made great money on it. It's been playing really well. We've been reading like a book for a long time, and we're kind of just waiting for this expansion now. So currently it is the one out of this list that I have the most margin in. 2, and the ones that I don't have entry on, I will list those, but they will be in the list, right? Like 2, I think BNB will be the second one that I have the most margin in. Only because I love the setup. I love BNB as a coin. We've talked about it several times. I've been watching it for a while. I'm going to be putting a lot more margin in this than I normally do because it is a limit entry. I'm going to be getting such a great price relative to the last 4 months that it makes sense for me to risk just a tad bit more. Next up, what will the third one be? Next one will be Algorand. When I first started looking at Algorand, I'm sure you guys have seen this whenever we stream trades, is I normally can catch a glimpse of the confidence I'll have in this trade immediately. And this is one of those trades where I'm like, all right, I know for a fact that I'm going to have a lot of confidence holding this trade and I'm going to have a lot of different opportunities to enter this one. Algorand, no entry yet, but will be probably the third largest size I have in any of these trades. Next one, easy. We already have entry. This is Polkadot. Don't need to go over Polkadot much. We've already bought it. Next up, to diversify the list a bit, we have protocol coins, right? We have exchange tokens. In order to mix up and diversify it a bit, we go with Ape. Ape will be the 5th largest on our list. Be the 5th one for us to focus on. I like it too because it hasn't expanded much. Hasn't expanded much at all yet. Bullish divergence, high time frames. Solid token here. Great discount relative to a 4-month time frame. Sixth, I already own it. No need to go over it. Chainlink is 6th. Order of importance for the 7th token here. This one is the one that actually surprised us quite a bit, and it will be one of the more meme coins, but it will be Waves. Soon to have entry, probably today. After the rest of these, I don't think they matter too much because we will mix them in. I will say that on this list, I would put Maker towards the end, equaled on 8th. Just because these are ones I don't like as much. R&DR out of this grouping would be the one that has fruitful long-term entry, right? Obvious reasons AVAX is last because I'm not confident in an entry anytime soon. I'm confident in a 30% markdown and then entry, and then AVAX would probably be at number 1, to be honest. But right now AVAX would be last. I'll just even move this here. Maker, R&DR, AVAX, to our last ones, and honorable mentions will stay honorable mentions until something happens for us to go over them again. All right, long fucking stream, a lot of information. If you're confused about anything, ask now or forever hold your peace. Last thing I'm gonna go over, ES and NASDAQ. What did I say last stream? Who was here last stream remember what I have been saying for the last 2 weeks, right? I've been saying one thing about these indices. I've been saying one thing about ES. I've been saying one thing about NQ. And it was a position that we were taking. Net short. Net short, bias short indices. Talked about this for a while, and Pico top. NQ especially. I told you guys, focus on NQ. We're going to take either of these short positions on these. Wait for these highs to raid. What the fuck have we been saying about the equal highs? Jesus. If there's anything you take away, it's that these equal highs have so much importance. So much importance, especially after either a massive drawdown or a massive markup, right? Invert the scale. Invert the scale. It looks like the altcoins are buying, does it not? Does it not? Equal lows into, what is that? Into the daily fair value. There's even a order block right below it. Either the fair value gap or the order block, whichever one you want. It tapped them both. And there is either the mark up, it's the invert scale, or mark down. Net short at the top. At the top. Couldn't have got better. This is the Pico top short position. Pico top. If you're not listening to me now, you'll be listening to me soon. Smashing these positions. Anyways, that's everything. XRP, BNB, Algorand, Polkadot, Ape, Chainlink, Waves, Eagle. Forget the last 3. Maybe we're spreading our margin too thin. A lot of profit made on Bitcoin. Spread it into the alts. Spread it into the alts. If you're looking for the exact entry, you may just have to wait for me to give you the call. All right. Happy Friday, boys. I see there's no more questions. Maybe there is. Maybe I'm missing them.
All right, Playboy. Have a good weekend.
You guys too.
All right, dog.
Peace out, guys. If you have anything left, hit it in the chart chat room. I might be missing it. Here's the list. Someone said, show the list. Someone said, oh, here we go. What's the stop loss for XRP? I'll just post the entire, it will be quite the recap. Either we'll go up today or tomorrow morning of our buys. It will have stop losses, TPs, entries, yada, 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 everything you're going to need to adequately take these positions with confidence.
Yo, quick question, Playboy.
Yeah, what's going on?
What about Ethereum?
Great question. Let's go over ETH. ETH is one I don't want to focus on too much, and we'll show you as soon as I pull up this chart. As soon as I pull it, you'll know exactly why. It's had its markup. It's hitting the relevant high that we've seen for a while. It's over the weekly EMA. Looks great. However, what does it move in tandem with? Moves in tandem with Bitcoin. We've raped Bitcoin on its longs. I don't have too much in Ethereum. It hasn't respected, especially the number one confluence that you guys know that I love to use. Hasn't respected as much as I would like to see for me to have confidence. And like, look, we'll just do double here. We'll go double, and you'll see exactly why I wanted to focus on Bitcoin over ETH, and why I'm also not going to be buying ETH, a part of the altcoin list. Also, if dominance decreases, ETH will be decreasing with Bitcoin at the same time. So here you go. You can see the difference here. A major respect of the exact level we wanted on Bitcoin on the daily EMA. Not too good on ETH. And, ETH actually would have been a stop out, right? We would have took the longs on ETH and would have been stopped out of this trade, right? So we wouldn't even be able to use one of the major confluences that I wanted to use on this. And I'm not even sure how I would have found entry here. Maybe demand, but I wouldn't take it. So ETH, I don't have much confidence in at all. I have a lot of confidence in Bitcoin. If I don't have confidence in ETH, I can't do anything with it. So that's one reason why I won't be focusing on ETH. I think that us focusing on Bitcoin kind of takes over the idea that we need ETH in the portfolio as well right now. So if you are to choose one of them, like I said with ES, like if you're going to go short ES or NASDAQ, let's choose NASDAQ. It's a little easier to read, right? I don't want to make it too harder on myself. I want to be able to read the asset as clean as possible. And if I can't read as clean as possible like ETH and like ES, I'm just going to move on to maybe it's, sister asset, right? ES sister assets NQ. NQ had a very clean setup. I choose NQ. ETH, I can't really read ETH right now. I really can't read ETH right now. I can't tell you where it's going to go. I can't tell you what's about to happen, but I can with Bitcoin. So I moved to Bitcoin instead. All right. That might be it. I see someone asking me what about OGN. We'll get to that later. I don't want to go over that on stream. But we'll call it there. All right, boys. Happy Friday. Have a great rest of your weekend. Stream will be up. It's a fucking long one. If you want to rewatch it. But I'll have a recap up because I know 52 minutes of me talking ain't exactly the best way to spend a day. So enjoy your Friday. Go touch grass. And peace.